we are honored to showcase a multiple award-winning certified career coach and emotional learning trainer, who has worked in the educational industry for over a decade. She's also a lawyer and works as a legal substance teacher in different institutions. She actively works to create awareness about teachers' mental well-being and hosts free events for teachers every weekend. She is Pooja AS representing India. Her session title is Let Us Understand Their World, Teachers' Mental Well-Being. Hello, Pooja, how are you?
I'm great, Anusha. Thank you so much. How are you?
I'm very well as well. We're very looking forward to your session. The stage is yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Anusha. I'm just sharing the screen. Hope my screen is visible to all. Okay, so understanding the world, who teach us to understand the world. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. So every event related to teachers in India starts with these two beautiful lines. That means Guru is the absolute Lord himself. But in this process of treating teachers with the utmost respect, we somewhere have missed the fact that teachers are also people like us. Teachers can also have stress, they can also have pain, mistakes can happen, and they too get exhausted. They can also have insecurities, they can fail. In this process of being role models to students, they carry a lot of emotional baggage that is not shared. Teachers are carrying a lot of responsibilities, more than we think. Hats off to all, each one of you, that whatever you have been doing. We know teachers are strong. You wear smiling faces to schools and colleges, irrespective of what's going on, happening in life. I think now it's time to understand their world, who teaches to understand the world. So before I go ahead, I would like to play this video for you all. When we are in school, probably all our students, even we were as a students, when teachers try to motivate us, try to tell us how to lead a life and, what to follow, what not to follow, all that, we always feel that it is getting, its teachers are irritating, saying same thing again and again. But only when we reach the place where we wanted to be and, when we achieve something, we realize that, the value of what teachers told us in school. And I think same goes with teachers also. And once once they're out from the school, they miss children a lot. I got to hear this from many teachers who get retired. And one more very interesting fact is, apart from our parents, only teachers are the people who genuinely feel proud when we achieve something in life. So let's watch this. Hope I have shared sound also.
Hi, Pooja. We are not able to hear.
Just a second.
Okay.
Just a second. Oh, I think I have not shared the sound. I may have to share it again. I'm really sorry. I'm just sharing the screen again.
That's okay. That's okay.
Okay, so here we go. I'm sharing again. Hopefully you are able to listen to me this time. Okay. Okay, so now I hope yeah, now is it audible?
Yes.
Yes, as this video tells us, teachers as an influencer, teachers' impact will be there with us, with all the children, till they reach their dreams and beyond that. So if we just look at just a second, if we just look at all this, whatever the definition or definition of teacher, or the definition of influence, or definition of inspiration. Everything, I think, compared to any other profession in this world, suits more to this particular profession. Because if you just look at this small difference, teaching is the only job that is the strong influencer to young minds, because you have thousands of other jobs in the world, but there most of the time you are influencing or you are impacting grown-up minds or grown-ups and very small in number. But teachers influence a larger number of students every day. They make changes every day in lives. And again, one more difficult task I always mention that teachers manage is managing the 100 different kind of emotions in the classroom. Because if you are a parent, you will know that handling or managing 2 children at home or 3 children at home is a difficult task, because each child is different, each child is unique with different kind of emotions. When teachers are managing 60 to 100 students in one classroom, or probably thousands of students in a year, or probably thousands of students throughout their career, it is not an easy task at all, right? So I think teachers need to be treated as human beings first, then as teachers. That's it. If we are serious about changing the ways that teachers are valued by society, then we need to recognize the ways that teaching is fundamentally different than any other profession. So if you look at number of teachers that we have in any of the countries, I think this is the largest profession. The size of the profession indicates that we can't take this particular profession for granted. As this entire community, educators or teaching community, has largest impact on the society as a whole. I have spent over 13 years working in the education industry. When I talk to other teachers, or when I interviewed others, teachers for my Talking to Teachers episodes, many of them who have left other professions to become a teacher, when I asked them why they wanted to be teachers, they all had this one answer. I wanted to feel like I was doing something meaningful, and or something similar, like, I wanted to create some difference in the society. I wanted to bring change in lives. So amidst of all the stresses, challenges, and constraints, teachers still inherent sense of purpose and meaning they find on a daily basis. We still have large number of people professionally, passionately choosing this as profession. That clearly means there must be something deeply satisfying about this profession. A teacher will see a student for more hours than parents, despite of all the macro level issues that define the teaching profession in limiting ways. Teachers are still unique in their ability to mold lives, because as a parent or as parents, we maximum spend 4 to 5 hours in a day with our children, and in that our interaction with child is as minimum as 1 hour or 1.5 hours to 2 hours. But when it comes to teachers and child interaction in school is more than this. It's long hours. So teachers can light a spark of inspiration, witness the joy of discovery, and cultivate a sense of self-confidence that a child will carry with them for the rest of their life. So that is what we have seen that, in that particular video. Teacher has this great strength of influencing child from the day one to till his life ends, right? So that is why I think we call this particular profession as a rewarding profession. So now, before I go ahead with this, particular talk, so I wanted to ask you all, what do you think are the factors contributing to the high rates of stress and burnout in the education field? So you can, unmute yourself and talk, or you can just drop a message on chat box, because I have my own list of factors, but I want to hear from you all because you have experienced the field. So just let me know, what are the factors contributing to the high rates of stress and burnout in the education field? Okay, so anyone would like to add your thoughts and, just parents' unawareness about child development? Exactly. Teacher Nisi Pearl, if I'm pronouncing your name right, shares that parents' unawareness about child development. Absolutely. This is one of the factors. Trying to help each child reach their potential, trying to provide equity. Sonia Nagpal says, absolutely. Lack of communication between, it's going really quick. Just a second.
Between employer and employees. Siva Naripali writes, uses of media. Teacher Nisi Pearl again shares government's restrictions in curriculum. Teresa Buki writes, lack of social awareness. Teacher Nisi Pearl again says examinations. Siva Naripali says lack of spending time with children.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a lot. Actually, I think many of you went beyond the thoughts. Normally, what are the factors that we consider beyond that? That's why actually I asked you, because major factors that are considered by UNICEF or other research organizations are these, high stake testings and large class sizes, student behavior challenges, inadequate resources, poor physical space, and workload, paperwork, high responsibility for others, perceived inadequate recognition or advancement, the gap between pre-service training expectations and actual work experience. I think along with this, whatever the other factors that you have mentioned, that unawareness of for parents being unaware of child development, or probably less communication between parents and teachers. So there is no proper coordination between teachers and parents, and there are many other factors that is contributing for high rates of stress and burnout. I think when we come to the high rate of tests in the school and paperwork and workload, there are many things involved within this. I have seen teachers are given additional responsibilities in the sense teachers are deployed to do the admissions for school, and they have to do administrative works, and there are many other things additionally. Teachers are getting involved. Probably that is adding a lot of workload, and they are not getting time for themselves. And high responsibility for others. This is one factor that we all have experienced, because when you take responsibility only on completing the task, it is easy. But when you are taking responsibility on emotional behavior, or probably 100 different people's emotions, then it becomes really stressful mentally. When you are at home, when you have 2-3 children, you will always have this in mind, or in inside you, that I have to make sure that my child or my children behave appropriate. They are well behaved, so that people do not blame me for bad parenting. So this you will have in mind. So similarly, teachers will always have this pressure to make sure that their children or their students are well behaved, and probably whatever the society defines as behavior of children that is taken care. When I was talking to another teacher the other day, so she was telling me that she allows children to have food inside the classroom. If they are hungry, they can, if they want to take a nap, they can take a nap. But in most of our schools, it is if child sleeps during the class, if child tells that he or she is hungry and wants to have something, we or teachers will punish them, because even if as a teacher I want to support that kind of situation, I want to make sure that child is more comfortable and having, we allow them to have something and be comfortable in the classroom. But we have external pressure to maintain that classroom etiquettes, and we will try to make child to sit without having anything, or probably we will wake him up if someone is sleeping. So this is the conflict between what your instinct or what your heart says and what society asks you to do. Same goes with one of the teachers now just mentioned that there is a restriction on curriculum, like there is certain curriculum, so you have to stick yourself to that and make sure that you're not going beyond that, and you're teaching that and complete it first from the examination point of view. Then if you have some time left, you can do something else. So that is again one more restriction, that where you are within yourself, you have a conflict that you want to teach something, you want to do something beyond the classroom, but you are not getting adequate time. So you have all these issues, major issues, and along with this we have less pay packages, where teachers are really struggling to take care of their very basic needs. This may not be true in each and every part of the world, but it is true in most part of the world. When I spoke to teachers from different places, different countries, I have realized that many teachers take private tuitions because they feel that what they are earning through the regular teaching from school as a salary is not enough for them to take care of themselves or their children. So this is sorry state, because I know teaching is a as I initially mentioned, it is the largest profession. You have more number of teachers in the country, and it is very difficult to manage paying each and everyone good, but it is essential, right? So it is essential, because we may say that money is not a big deal. You have many other things that satisfies your work, but of course you have to have a minimum amount of financial support where you can be free and you can think that it's okay, I have enough to take care of me and my children or my family. So then you will have that enthusiasm or energy to spend on different things. Otherwise, if you have already suffering through financial losses, so obviously you will not feel energized to work. And I know this is not the only factor, but I'm saying this is also is one of the factors. And one more important thing is lack of support from the administration or from the probably your leadership team. I have seen when young teachers come and complain that this is what is happening and I don't, I'm not comfortable with this particular environment. I have heard this very senior person from the institution saying that this is all common and you have to compromise on things. You have to make sure that you adjust. This is how it is wherever you go to work. This is not only here in this institution. This is very bad, because when there is no proper support and no proper support, proper appreciation, and you know that you're doing your best and something is hindering you, and when you're sharing with someone, your senior, you feel that he or she will be able to give the solution, demotivates you, that hurts mentally a lot. So it is not only one factor. Probably we have financial factors, we have social factors, we have economic and education, academic factors. You have many different factors which are probably affecting. And what happens when you go through all this? Right? So teachers and other school staff also who experience exhaustion and burnout related to their work are likely to have a number of negative, when you go through constant negative pressure, so obviously you see one of these things happening or many of these things happening with you. So emotional numbing and you're feeling shut down, loss of enjoyment. You stop enjoying the job, right? You feel a lack of energy. So for example, when as a teacher you get into the industry or you get into the school, college, you start teaching with a lot of enthusiasm. I have seen many teachers becoming favorite teacher of students in few days, and then eventually you lose energy because many other things are stopping you, many other things are bothering you, and you have increased illness. You start feeling unwell repeatedly when you are mentally not strong or mentally not fit. You are not happy from inside. That reflects in everything else. You start feeling aches, you start feeling pains, and you start taking leaves continuously. The same teacher who used to make sure that being there for their children all the time starts taking leave and starts giving excuses, right? So you will not be able to set your boundaries. You will struggle to set the boundaries, and you feel that you are not enough, right? And you feel that it's very difficult to make the decisions. And I have seen teachers, uh, you know, unconsciously doing things and later regretting for the same, that I shouldn't have done that, because for that moment that teacher was not able to take a proper decision because so much of emotional stress from inside. And I think negative brain takes over the positive brain, and that is where all the issues, all the problems start probably increasing. Before we look at the solution for this, I just have this small exercise. Um, Let us try to understand our understanding of Gen Z, right? Here are a few social media acronyms or slangs. Let's try to figure out how many of us know the full forms of it. Quickly type in chat box. Let's see who guesses maximum. You can go on typing one and send it across. So I just want to know how you are aware of your current generation, which we are teaching. Let's see how BRB, be right back. Wow, that's correct. Ranjana Nagpal, BRB. Okay, what about you? WBU, great. Got to go. Do you know? Okay. So next, what is IDK? Let me tell you this, when I was searching for this, even I didn't know, full form of many of this. And I thought, okay, it's kind of learning today. International Math Olympiad. Oh my God. Okay. Even I thought in that lines for many of these letters. Okay, I don't know. Correct. What is BTW? Okay, so it's by the way or between. Okay, be there soon. BTS, maybe between. Okay. So are we done? What is AFAIK? Let's see correct answers. How was that? See, many things, even I was shocked because all these while I was reading it completely different. And this is kind of funny and how creative our children are nowadays. And I really didn't understand. As far as I know, is not that a big sentence or long sentence to type that you make it AFAIK. But still, that's nice. So, okay. ROFL is roll on the floor laughing, correct? Ranjana seems to have, um, great knowledge on these particular. I think you are trying to go with Gen Z very faster compared to all of us. This is a small example that we as teachers have to work filling up this generation gap too. I would like to mention one more example. One of my colleagues had this, was having conversation with my student, and it's been for 2-3 days. He was sending one link to the student, and she was not able to open it, and she kept on asking him, "Sir, this is not working." And he used to say, do all the exercises and all the circus and try it again and send it back. Now try. She used to try again and again. She used to fail and send him back and said, "No, sir, it is not working." And then after 2 days, she came to me and she told me, "Ma'am, sir is sending me this link. This is not working at all. Can you please send me, the same link?" And I said, "Why it's not working? Show me." And when she showed me the message, I told her, "Why you cannot save his number? Because now, as per the WhatsApp new policy, you will not be able to see the hyperlink if you have not saved that number. When that message comes in, if someone sends this is just to make sure that you don't get scammed by random people sending you links. So you will not, that will not appear as link unless you save the number. When you save that person's number, that means you are known to that person, and that link reflects, and you will be able to operate it." I asked her to save. As soon as she saved it, all the links were reflecting and she was able to open the link. Just imagine if the teacher who was communicating with her would have known this fact that this is the one way that a student may get stuck and I have to resolve. So student wouldn't have wasted 2 days just figuring out how to open the link. So this is the generation gap. Probably this is the technical skills. So this is not a big deal. It's just when you get a pop-up message from WhatsApp, I have this habit. When I get some security message, I'll make sure that I'm reading that completely. Probably I may have something to learn. So that's very I think very important thing that as a teachers, we have to make sure that we have that zeal to learn. Whatever comes across, we have to try to make sure that we are learning something from it, right? So next exercise is rate yourself. This is, I think, just to figure out how your timetable goes. I request you all to rate yourself on the scale of 1 to 10. What's the maximum time you give to yourself in a day? 1 to 10. Time that you give to yourself. You can put in a chat box time to yourself on the scale of 1 to 10, hardly an hour or 2. Okay, 1. Okay. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. It's not going beyond that. I wanted to see much. Okay, Ranjana, thank God. 5. 5, okay. So it can be anything, you have some, hobbies that you paint, you dance, you sing, or you go to gym, you spend time with your friends, or whatever. Time for yourself that you have to end of that particular hour, you should feel that, okay, I spent a good 1 hour with myself. So where did what is the maximum, that kind of time that you dedicate every day? Okay, so it's maximum we reached 5. Next, please rate this. Time for others. What is the maximum time that you spend for others? Just again, rate it on the scale of 1 to 10. Okay, it's 2, 7, 4 hours, 8.5, 6, more than 10 hours. Okay, Rasha. Next, 10 plus, Siva. Okay. 10 hours. Next. Okay. So next one we have time for learning. What is the maximum time that you spend on learning? Only learning. It's obviously it is for yourself and for others also. When you are learning, you are contributing to others as well as the teachers. So it's for yourself and for others. What is the maximum time that you spend for learning? And you be honest and tell me what is the maximum time you get to learn. Probably upskilling yourself or something related to your subjects or learning new skills. Okay. So it's reached up to 10 hours. I'm glad. 5 hours. Okay. So now look at the average. I think, we probably spend on a good amount of time for learning and good amount of time for others, because as a teacher, this is the essence of your life. You have to make sure that you give time for others. You have to make sure that you give time for learning. And there is one more point which we have seen very less, like 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10, and maximum I think we reached 5 out of 10. That is time to yourself, right? So I think you have to be there for others, right? But never leave yourself behind. This is one important reminder that you keep for ever in your mind. That be there for others. As a teachers, you have to, as a human being, we have to. I think someone is trying to speak. Okay, so as human beings, we have to make sure that we are there for others, but never leave yourself behind. I think you have to give equal importance to giving time for yourself, pampering yourself, right? So I have these 2 important recommendations to policymakers and institutions. There are many educators here, probably all of you are educators, teachers. You may reach the authority some days to, to be able to make policies or to head the institutions. If you're making a policies, educator mental health must be major focus of all the education policy. And second, inspection bodies must adapt to the current challenging context. Recruitment and retention of passionate teachers must be prioritized. I am seeing many of them just getting out of the profession and switching to some other profession. And unfortunately, I have seen a LinkedIn page which asks people to register if you are a fresh teacher, you have just got into the industry. If you want to change your profession, we have this option. We have this jobs open, and you can join us. I felt so bad. Someone have understood that there are people switching from the education industry, and you get honest, authentic people from there, and you just drag them to some other industry to make calls or to sell something. I really felt bad. What kind of message we are sending out to the society? But unfortunately, this is happening. So institutions have to prioritize a culture of well-being and reduce the stigma attached to this mental well-being, and have to create a learning and friendly environment. Listen to your staff. This I have already mentioned. Never ask them to compromise. This I am requesting to all the institutions. If someone is coming to you and saying that she or he is feeling uncomfortable within the school environment, if there is something negative happening, if something bad happening, you have to make sure that you are taking an action. Do not never, do ask them to compromise and say that, this is all happens in every way, in every industry. You just, because I cannot speak for other industries because I have not worked, but as an educator, as a teacher, and as a student too, I know if there is a negative environment within the institution, you are not sending out good or probably the kind of citizens or kind of human beings that world should get. So you have to make sure that you are taking care of your own people, your own staff. So listen to them, right? So considering all the factors that we discussed so far, we understood it is important to prioritize and commit to taking care of teachers' mental health and well-being. This helps to have more positive energy within teachers, within students, and to their families. Probably that will further, goes beyond and to the society and to the world. So set aside time to unwind. Think about what helps lift your mood. This is from UNICEF, all these suggestions that I'm sharing now from UNICEF. So set aside time to unwind. Think about what helps lift your mood and gets you through the stress, whether it is playing with your children, going for a walk, talking to your friends, taking care of your plants, reading a book, or cooking a new recipe. Keep some time to relax, right? These activities are as important as your working hours. If you are keeping 5 hours for others, you have to keep 5 hours for yourself. So I feel that this is how that you have to make sure that you are equally balancing things. It's about allowing yourself to feel energized. I have always loved dancing. When I was young, I used to dance for the music from anywhere. We have this Ganesha Hotsava, Ganesha festival, which is huge in India and the biggest festival. And you can see people dancing on the road, and you will have loud music. And I always felt like dancing when I hear to that music. But now, many times, even now at the age of 33, I feel like dancing when I listen to music on the road, but something stops. I think I have left behind that child in me. I suggest you all to keep that child alive and dance. Pamper yourself once in a while, and that is very essential. Now, once we grown up, once we are 33, 34, or probably once we cross 25, we are not pampered, but we have to make sure that we pamper ourselves, right? And plan ahead. So this is very essential for all the teachers or for any profession in that matter. There could be a million things on your mind on how to engage with students and help them with the transition. Make a list of all your tasks and activities for the day or week early on. Use a day planner or notebook to plan your week. Set small goals and take appropriate breaks. These appropriate breaks are really important. It helps you to manage your time better and also manage the stress that a lot of things that you are doing may bring in your life, right? And then setting boundaries. For a lot of us, this is difficult. When, I have seen teachers getting into the school just to be a math teacher, and then, all other physics, chemistry, other subjects also, same teacher have to handle, and they accept it. I think it's, we teachers suffer to set boundaries. We feel that we are there to do the service, and we have to make sure that 24/7 we be available. No. The COVID-19 pandemic has resulted in increased stress levels in the lives of many teachers, with the new way of teaching, personal health and family issues. Whether you are teaching online or in the classroom, you are continuously taking care of students' needs throughout the day. Make sure you set boundaries to have me time, be with family or enjoy that you like to, or whatever you like to do. I have done this mistake when I got into the profession. I was loved by each and every student as a mentor. I used to respond them in the 1 a.m., 2 a.m. in the night, and I used to make sure that I'm there whenever they ask for me. But after some time, you start feeling stressed out. You will not be able to manage everything. I have eventually realized I have lost, or I have created a big distance when, among family members, or probably between friends. I think it is essential that we set boundaries. One easy way to create boundaries is by paying attention to how you feel during your daily activities, complete day's activities, and listen to the cues that may tell you that something is not working for you. You realize this is not working for me. So you have to make sure that you work on that particular thing and make sure that you make it works for you, or you just eliminate it. You have dedicated time in your your teaching and other time. You can give one particular hour as student interaction time, or you have to make sure that your students and parents or caregivers know that this is the best time to contact you, not any time, right? So you have to establish a window. This is the particular time, and only during that time they can contact you. They may contact you, or in the emergencies, obviously they'll drop a message or call you. You will be able to see it later. But for official talks, for academic talks, keep a window. Also, before the bedtime, it is, I think, any video you watch, when people ask you to take care of your mental health, they'll tell you this. Make sure that you're not touching your mobile and responding to emails or messages, because one small negative email, or probably something where you have not met your expectation, that will spoil your entire night. You will not be able to sleep. And teachers have this, I think it's kind of ego, or probably we want to portray ourselves as perfectionists or something. So we try to have always positive answers. When something is going negative, students are not doing well, so we think about that whole night. So I suggest you all to keep all the gadgets away when you are going for the sleep, at least 2 hours, 1 hour before to the sleep, right? And adjust your expectation. So this is a period of adjustment for everyone, and keep things in perspective. You can only control few things, right? Few circumstances. Everything is not possible, and as I initially said, we need not to compare teachers to gods. We have to just treat them as human beings, and you can do only things that are humanly possible. I know many teachers have done magic, and all that magic happened because they know how to take care of themselves, and they transfer that positive energy to children. So that is what the only godly thing you can do. So make sure that you are not pressurizing yourself to provide the same learning experience that we provided pre-lockdown period. Now, immediately, that is not possible. Even I am trying, and I have failed many times, because pre-lockdown, was completely different perspective of education. Students perceived it completely differently. So now, after lockdown, things have mixed up, and few of them are more comfortable with online, few of them are more comfortable with offline, and few want hybrid, few want to come school wherever they want, and few want to sit at home and watch it. So it's completely different. It takes time for you and for children to change and to adapt. So I think we have to adjust and make sure that we are not setting high expectations, and we are trying to understand what each child's need and just try to fulfill you know in that border where things are humanly possible, right? And acquire new skills and appreciate the ones you already have. So many of us, as soon as we realize that we are just not understanding something new, we just forget about everything else, all other excellent skills that we had and we have. I think it's essential that we appreciate what are the skills that we already have. That is why you are a teacher, and make sure that you polish it, and you are adding the skills, you're adding the knowledge, but never feel that you are something less, or you are you are not skilled, because see, you have been through a training, you passed it, you have acquired some kind of knowledge, you have got through the interview, and finally you are here as a teacher, as a change maker. And definitely there is something in you that brought you all the way to till here. Of course, you may lack something, but
I'm really sorry to interrupt you, but you have only 12. Just a reminder, you have only 11 minutes, and it includes your Q&A session time. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Please continue.
No problem. I think I'll be done with another 5 minutes.
You only have 11 minutes, and that includes your Q&A session time. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks. So so be kind to yourself. Share your feelings with another teacher or friends or family. That is essential. Talking to friends and talking to family, and as I initially mentioned, talk to your seniors or leadership team whenever you are feeling uncomfortable within the system. And stay socially connected. You can keep yourself probably physically apart from the people, but you have to make sure that you are emotionally, socially connected with your friends and family and colleagues. Celebrate happy occasions, make sure that you spend a good amount of time with them, and so that you feel that you have a bunch of people around you who are probably caring for you and helping you, and get your body moving. Obviously, you have to make sure that you do regular exercise and energetic things and thoughts, and probably walking, jogging, or some other activities. And when there is a necessary, right? If you feel that it is essential, please seek mental health. And this is very important. Many of us feel that talking to psychiatrist or talking to psychologist or talking to counselor is kind of stigma, but don't stop yourself when you feel that you have you are going through a stress, you need help, you need support. Make sure that you are seeking help. Right, so that's it with all the tips, and I just want to conclude with this one beautiful video, which is for 3 minutes, and immediate of that, probably if you have any questions, you can ask me. Many of you must have already.
One day a son goes to his father and says, "Father, what is the value of my life?" And the father gives him a stone and says, "Son, if you want to know the value of your life, take this stone and go to the market. And if anyone asks the price, don't say a word and raise up 2 fingers." So the boy does as his father says and goes to the market. He wanders around, and suddenly an old woman approaches him and says, "How much is this stone?" The boy doesn't say a word, just raises up 2 fingers. And the woman says, $2? I'll take it. The son is surprised and runs back to his father. He says, "Father, there was an old woman at the market. She wanted to give me $2 for the stone." And the father says, "Son, the next place I want you to go is to the museum. And if anyone asks the price, don't say a word and raise up 2 fingers." So the son takes the stone and goes to the museum. After about 20 minutes, there is a middle-aged man in a suit who approaches the boy. He says, "Sir, how much is this stone?" The boy doesn't say a word and raises up 2 fingers. And the man says, $200? I'll take it. The boy is surprised and runs home to his father. Father, a man in the museum wanted to buy the stone for $200. Okay, son. The last place I want you to take the stone is a precious stone store. Walk inside with the stone, and if anyone asks the price, don't say a word, just raise up 2 fingers. So the son runs off into the precious stone store. After finding it, he walks inside and there is an old man at the counter. And as the old man sees this stone, he jumps up and screams, "Oh my God, you have the stone I've been looking for my whole life. What do you want for it? How much is it?" The boy doesn't say a word and raises up 2 fingers. And the old man says, $200,000? I'll take it. The boy can't believe it. He jumps up and runs to his father. He says, Father, the old man at the precious stone store wanted to give me $200,000 for the stone." You see, son, you understand now the value of your life? Life is all about where you place yourself. You can decide if you want to be a $2 stone or a $200,000 stone. There are some people who love you and for whom you're everything. And some people will just use you as a commodity, and for them you will be worth nothing. So it is upon you, my son, to decide the value of your life. Thanks.
Isn't it? So, I think when we speak up, when we share, and when we try to place ourselves with boundaries that this is where I belong to, I think it will be valued. And here, one of the questions I have just okay, as leaders, how do we check in with your team? I think if team is small.
Only 5 minutes. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks. So as leaders, I think, when team is small, I have a very small team. I make sure that I go out, or probably I have one-on-one discussion once in a while. Probably it won't be specifically on one-to-one interaction on well-being. I just make sure that I fix up an interview and I start talking how they are doing, what they are doing and what they are up to, what are the plans, if something is bothering them, if they need time. So I think if we start questioning one-on-one, that definitely will help us to understand where they stand. And being the experienced people in the industry, I think you will be able to figure out what's going on in their mind. And when team is big, I think feedback forms, or probably without mentioning the name, or that would help. We do this for students. I think we have to implement this for teachers also. When team is big, teachers can just write anonymous message to you, or there can be a feedback mechanism which directly comes to you, so that you can make sure that their mental health is also taken care along with children's mental well-being. And how to keep concentrating the children during the class. What I do is I just share my experience. When I started teaching cyber law, I have realized that this is kind of boring subject for children. So I have, I went always to the classroom with stories, and I felt that even if students are like grown up, when they are 20s, when they're in, when they're teenagers, but each stories interest them. So we can build stories around the whatever the topic we want to bring into the classroom. And also, I make sure that I'm not, I'm not probably the person which is completely different to them. When I'm writing on the board, I just, when I'm writing some words, I'll just turn and ask one child that if the spelling is correct, please check once. So I just want to make sure that for them to think that teacher also can make mistake, and when they have something to ask, they'll not hesitate to ask me. So that is that few things, tricks that I use in the classroom. I'm making just pretending that pretending as if I'm making mistake, or I'm just afraid of making mistakes. So something I just portray that so that they can, and even I'll ask them question, just you can take can you just do this favor for me, please figure out this particular word meaning, and then I'll give them time to search for the meaning. So I just take their help so that they feel comfortable and interact in the classroom. I think we are running out of time. So I am available on LinkedIn. So Pooja AS, you can connect with me, and we can have lot of conversation there. Thanks a lot, Education Influence and Anusha, Gavin, you guys are doing great job, amazing job. Thank you so much for everything and for this opportunity. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Pooja. Thank you.